Our Achilles heel in the past has been quarterbacks that run the ball well. So I see them running the ball against us more than anything else. The thing we're preparing to hold the ball as long as we can on offense, make sure they don't get the ball. We got to get our running game up and running and make sure that's on point, doing what we're supposed to do. In special teams, we plan on being steady like we always are. But defensively, we're going to have to stop the run. There's no doubt about it. The quarterback's going to be elusive. They're smart. They're coached very well, and they're going to be a tough team to beat.
So we're expecting a great run team. You know, as a lot of people know, last week they ran for over 500 yards of the rushing offense against Bryant. And they're very sound. They're very well coached. They're going to spread you sideline to sideline. They got a lot of good team speed. Up front, they're physical, but not as physical as the team we played last week. So, we tend to handle those teams a little better. So we got to be able to, play with their speed, play with their up tempo, and have the proper run fits we're day in, day out during practice, which we've had. We've been preparing for their exotic runs, a lot of zone read options, and practicing those fundamentals to get those down pat to stop the run.
Going to be a tough road to hoe today. This is the #1 team in the league by a half game. The Sacred Heart Pioneers undefeated at 3-0. But they're going to try to fight through it and try to get the upset here today. Here's the kick by Borges. It will travel down inside the 3-yard line. Picked up by Madison. Cuts far side of the 10-15. Finds a hold of the 20. And Delano Madison returns the football out to the 27-yard line. Walker sends 3 to the right, 1 to the left this time. Here's the snap. Jimmy drops back, throws the screen over the middle. It's caught by Jordan Johnson, and he has a little bit of daylight. Johnson breaks one tackle at the 30, dives forward to the 35, but he will be shy of the first down, and he'll take a one-step drop. He'll fire, chucking down over the middle. That ball is caught. The tight end fields it. Ed Cudahy makes the grab. Duke gets the handoff, and he'll run it into the end zone to the left. Step in there. And untouched for a 1-yard touchdown goes Kevin Duke, the quarterback of the Sacred Heart Pioneers. And this will be Kevin Duke keeping it after the play fake to Meacham, and he is wrapped up and thrown down. The initial hit was by Eli Avivi, who is a freshman defensive back, and that was a big hit on the quarterback.
Ellie's seen some time on special teams, but right there doing a good job on the defensive backfield. Caleb Lewis now in a quarterback, Chris. It's Caleb Lewis, the transfer from Louisiana State.
Caleb Lewis is going to run out of the pocket. He's up to the 25. He slides forward to the 30-yard line. Duke calling for the snap. Crowd gets a little quiet. Gives it to Chestnut, or does he? Nope. Play fake, and it'll be Duke around the right side for the score from 1 yard away. And Sacred Heart now has a 3-touchdown lead over the Colonials. All of a sudden, brilliant sunshine here on an otherwise gray, overcast day. Here comes Chestnut with a blast up the middle, 50, down to the 40, 30. Nobody's going to get him. He's at the 20, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown for Sacred Heart on a first down play. That was a 72-yard run by Chestnut. Colonials start over again. Here's Lewis dropping back, firing over the middle. It's Petrick making the catch at the 35, turning upfield for a couple of extra yards. Second down and 10 for Duke. This time he's going to chuck it over to the left side. A one-handed stab attempt, and the ball is going to be picked up on the tip. An interception for Robert Morris. Coming up with a football is going to be Eli Avivi, getting his first start today in his freshman season. And Avivi, off the tip football, is able to pick it off. And Robert Morris comes up with its first big break of the day. This time has expired. We have come to the end of the first half of play. And Sacred Heart has tattooed Robert Morris for 35 points in the first half of play. The Colonials scoreless, so it's 35-0 at halftime. And here we go. Martin gets the snap. Has time. Throws the screen pass right. It's caught by Johnson. And Johnson trying to weave through traffic. Breaks a tackle. And he gets all the way down to the 11-yard line. Gonzalez is the H-back to the left. Vecchio back in motion left. Here's a run play up the middle. And it's a touchdown for Robert Morris. And the one you were looking for, Ken. Jordan Johnson dashing in from 1 yard out with some excellent blocking up front. And he went in untouched and scored his first career touchdown for the Colonials. First down and goal to go from the 9-yard line. Chestnut running left. And Chestnut is going to get a yard, maybe two. Second down and goal from the 8. And here's a sweep to the right side. And then Chestnut tried to stop and then change direction and run up the middle. He's going to pick up another yard, and Adam Wallet was able to find him there. Here's the snap. Duke gets it. Chestnut runs left. And Chestnut jacked up by Adam Wallet and thrown over backwards. This time to the 5-yard line, so he picks up 2 more. And Sacred Heart looking at 4th down and goal to go from the 5.
Based on what it looked like in the first half, you got to take you got to take the wins where you can take them, and kind of the attitude and the way that they came out in the second half was a nice change from what we saw in the first half.
The Pioneers 38 and the Colonials 7 here in Fairfield, Connecticut.
The Sacred Heart game, I thought it started extremely horrible. We just weren't tackling well. We weren't doing things we needed to do in the first half. Offense wasn't able to move the ball, but the beginning of the second half was promising. The fact we went out and got a turnover, and our offense went down and punched it in the end zone, those are promising things, and I think our guys played pretty hard. We only gave up 3 points in the second half, so I thought the defense looked good. The offense just needs to pick it back up. We need to get that 1-2 punch back on our running game that we've been having in the past. I thought the second half they played well. That was the message to them. We can't keep starting slow, and I think that's what's hurting us. We're starting slow in the first half. We've got to continue to push ourselves. We've got to continue the second half and take it over to the first half of every game that we're playing in and start playing with enthusiasm, playing for each other and believing in one another and trusting in each other to get the job done.
Well, Brady Hours in particular, I mean, he was scout team most of the year, and we always tell the defense, you're 1 injury away from playing, and Brady Hours has been in the linebacker room, defensive room, taking notes day in and day out, and his number was called against Central State, and like you said, he had a huge tackle for loss on a 3rd down play, and kind of set the tone for the rest of the game and got our juices flowing, which carried into St. Francis, which was good, and it was good to see a young guy step up.
I think you're always thinking about the future. I think I started thinking about the future from the first time I got the job. You're always recruiting nonstop. You're always looking at other players, but there's no doubt that it's a plus that our young guys are able to play a little bit, able to get in there. Ellie did a good job last week. AJ's done a good job all year. EJ's done a good job. I can go on and on all the freshmen we've had to play this year, but the fact that they're getting some playing experience really puts us in a better position next year when we hit the field. And in fact, we're going to bring in some good recruits because we're hitting the recruiting trail. We're going to bring in some guys that we need and not just guys we want. We're going to make sure we bring some needs in and handle that. But getting the guys to play this year is real strong and real positive for us.